What do you say, everybody? 14 Guitars here. I'm coming from Wambaw Cycle Trail, even though this is going to occur at the front of the video. I rode last on December 21st just to get back riding after a interesting crash. I'll post that crash video in the hopefully in the next week or so. Been a little lazy. I'm sorry, I'm eating my burrito, my after-ride burrito. This one is ground beef and cheddar cheese with a little bit of salsa. Anyway, and it's grass-fed beef. It's really, really good. Anyway, I rode on the 21st. It had a really nice ride. It was dry, but today, the 30th of December, it is incredible conditions. We've had several days of rain, of light rains, and the trails are spectacular. The trails are as good as they get as far as traction and the soil. There's still a bunch of whoop-de-doos, you know, end of year type whoop-de-doos before we get the trails groomed. But if you know how to ride any kind of whoops at all, you'll do fine. Most importantly, just the traction and the directional control you have with the bike is incredible. And this Dunlop M14 tire, this paddle tire I'm running, is spectacular in these conditions. Moist sand, it's just a spectacular tire. It really shines. Makes you feel so confident. Recovers you back up vertical out of the trails by giving a little gas. It just lifts you back up. It's so good. I just love it. Before we go any further, I don't want to forget, shout out to Chad and to Will, who I saw at the trails today. Chad, I appreciate you stopping. That was really nice of you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like my videos, and I hope you like this one. And Will, it was good to see you again. Will told me that we actually met at Manchester a year or more ago. I meet so many people. I try to remember names. I have a really hard time, so I want to do a shout out whenever I do meet someone, just so hopefully it'll stay in my brain a little bit. But I appreciate anybody coming up and wanting to say hi. I really appreciate that. I enjoy making these videos. I really enjoy the fact that some people who like to ride dirt bikes like to watch these videos. It's not a lot. What do I got? 100 and something subscribers, but even that is really gratifying. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate y'all. Anyway, it's been a great year. I hope you all get out and get a chance to ride now or New Year's Day, perhaps, if you're up to it. And I hope you have an even better 2025 if you had a good 2024. And if you had bad 2024, I hope you have a good 2025. All right, God bless everybody. Take care. I sure appreciate it. And here is the ride. It was a good one. It was a good one. See you later. What do you say, everybody? 14 Guitars here at Wambaw Cycle Trail. Gonna ride the north real quick, just a fun run. It's a beautiful day. It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Bunch of folks here today getting in their last of the year rides. Some kids on their new dirt bikes over there on the kids track area. I'm excited. Was gonna go to Ennery today, but got held up. So we'll probably do Ennery on the 2nd, something like that. It's just a fun little ride today. Thought I'd take you along. Not gonna do a big warm-up today. Warm up on the trail with people out. I don't try to run too fast. I am kind of driven to try to get good times on the trail. It's a personal challenge. I think my wife and I were coming out of church the other day talking about men and athletic events, and one of our friends was saying, you know, men are so competitive that even when they're riding, doing something by themselves, I think she was saying her husband, when he goes running, he will overdo it, get sore. And I told her that, you know, tell myself I'm going to take it easy on the dirt bike, but once behind the throttle, motorcycle Mike, my name is Mike, wants to go faster than pre-ride Mike said he was going to go. And she was saying it's because of competitive drive. I said, well, when you're alone, I think it's just a feeling of desire to strive to do better. You can call that competitive, but it's almost like just a drive to do better yourself. I'm always trying to do a little better when I ride. I want to get a good time. I am competing against myself, but there's nothing to win, except the satisfaction that I've gotten better. So I think the word strive kind of describes the feeling I get when I'm all hocked up. You know, I get inspiration to strive to be better. It's such a nice, wonderfully cool day. It's about 64. It's December 30th, so tomorrow's New Year's Eve. The bike is running like fantastic. Jetting is pretty much perfect for these conditions, and not, you know, very slightly rich down low, but that's okay. I'll take that. It's a beautiful sunny day. I think last time I was here, just about a week ago, I didn't film, but it was a gray day, you know. Just didn't have the same kind of nice feeling. The trail was really dry. It was my first time back from having a little get off where I fell on a stump, a hidden stump on the side of the trail. I call it a trail dragon. It hit me right in the chest, and even through my armor, it cracked a rib, and my scapula was snapped back so hard that it bruised my spine in my back, even though I was struck in the front, my left chest plate of my armor. This conditions here though. It's been raining off and on, maybe a half an inch a day for a couple days, and that just turns this sand to spectacular with such good traction, and it just feels so good. I mean, it's just so responsive. Not just traction, but the bike really goes where you point it. Beautiful winter day, y'all. 2024 was a good year. Everybody's basically healthy. For the first time in 17 years with my business, I have a customer in the state. They're up in Spartanburg. So, someone I can drive to go see instead of having to go fly, which is really nice. I can definitely tell I had no warm-up. Got a little winded, so I'm going to keep quiet for a minute. Take a few deep breaths, recover. Chad actually stopped and said hello. Chad, I sure appreciate that. I'm glad you like my videos. I like them too. I like making them. They make great memories. And I'm really glad people enjoy them. It's a little bit of PG entertainment. I think it's good for the kids. I do put enough, hopefully, adult themes in there that are cast in such a way that adults get it. But it'll be a while before the kids understand it, perhaps, if y'all know what I mean. Everybody grows up so fast nowadays. I think just learning how to be a responsible dirt biker is a good skill for a young person. They'll learn a lot about life as they get older. So what's up with us? The first time in a couple of years, I've taken most of the Christmas season off, you know, and I mean the week of Christmas and the week after. I did a little work today. I might work just a little tomorrow. New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, I'm gonna go hunting. And I'm gonna take the rest of that week off too as well. Just trying to get up to Enery. Remember, Enery this year closes January 6th, and then they'll open again in March. So it's not too late to go ride Enery. It was just too late for me today to get out and get back in a reasonable amount of time. It's over a 3-hour drive for me. Most of the time I'll spend the night in Columbia with my sister, my mom, or my nephew. If I ride Enery. Speaking of Will, like I said, I know Will from Manchester. He did a lot of work helping out Stephanie and Chris at think Parsons Mountain. So shout out to him, shout out to Chris and Stephanie for all their hard work on the trails, and shout out for the rider communities for stepping up. One thing that Will and I talked about, he wanted to get hook up a hose and wash his bike, but the pump is not running here at Wambaw, and it's been a while. So I'm hoping that the electrician that's working for the Forest Service will get that pump back online sometime pretty soon. This is a paid concession, right? So we do generate a small amount, or maybe put properly, the Forest Service loses less money running our concession than, say, some of the other trail concessions, because we pay. So you can hike or walk or bicycle to the Palmetto Trail completely free, you know, but we all pay $5 to ride or $50 a year. So I'm hoping the Forest Service will designate some funds to get the electrical working here at Wambaw, so we can get the pump back up and running and have some running water at the parking lot. Running water certainly is nice. It's a little less critical in summer, in winter, but come spring, we start getting some hot days. Little running water is really important. You can get your clothes nice and wet before you ride. You can wash your hair, wash your face off when you're done, etc. that'll return you to the parking lot already. Coming up on the second loop in a little while, they'll carry you back to the parking lot early for a shorter overall trail. I believe there are 3 loops back for a total of 4 loops, but it might only be 3 loops on the north and 4 on the south. Basically up here we'll make a right, and then we'll be making a left onto the longer loop. Yeah, here we're only at 6 miles in. I'm already breathing hard, trying to keep a good pace. All right, there's your trail. 14 miles ahead, 14 miles for 14 guitars. 6 miles back if you go that way. 6 miles, I guess it's 6 miles total, I'm not sure. It might be 6 miles back for a total of 12. Yeah, 6 out, 6 in. That would make sense. So it's not that much shorter than the whole trail then. The whole trail is only 19 miles. So the medium trail is medium plus. Weather is about perfect for dirt bike riding. The visibility is so beautiful. The forest is so nice this time of year with the leaves off the trees. You kind of see beyond just the trail, beyond the side of the trail. Now, don't get me wrong, I love it when the trail is grown up on both sides and you're going through a forest tunnel of vegetation. That's incredible to do. But sometimes it's nice to just be able to see a little bit. Like at Enery, where you're on some of those hillsides that you can actually see down into the canyons. That's beautiful and exciting. Instead of just knowing you're on a hillside and wondering what's down the ledge there. Are safe as long as you're trending back toward the center when you hit the edge of the whoop. In other words, if you're trending to the right, you're climbing up the side of the trail to the right when there's lots of whoops. Your front end needs to be facing back down into the trail. If you get a little out of shape, and your front end ends up facing just a little bit to the side. Let's say you go up the right hand side and you accidentally turn your wheel a little bit to the right. Your bike can slide up the top and then it has no traction. It can slide down the bank toward the center, but it's facing to the right. Like and when you get to the bottom you can end up driving off the trail or having the wheel slide out from under you. I often will go from side to side over multiple whoops to decrease the total number of whoops I'm exposed to, like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. But as soon as I get to one side, I'm trending back toward the center. My favorite part of this north loop. Second favorite part's right at the very end after you cross the road, the second set of roads where you make that right-hand turn on the gravel road, connecting road. One thing I had to learn with this scoop tire, this M14 tire, it has a, you don't get as much traction when you lay it over like flat tracking. It'll slide on a hard surface more. So I can't lean it quite as far on the hard surface as my Bridgestone paddle tire. Everywhere else it kind of shines, but on flat, slick, hard surfaces, not so good. So, it's something I have to remember. Now I'm going to rest a while, not talk, because we're coming up on a section where I've got to stand up the whole time, and that uses a lot of energy, oxygen to feed your legs. And as you go into oxygen depth, you start to lose fast twitch response. You start to lose tunnel vision. So if you're going to go fast, where you need a lot of oxygen, take a little break right before you get to that section. When I say break, I just mean slow down from 80 to 60 or 60 to 40, depending on how fast you're going that day, effort-wise. Turn my light on because I'm on the main road here. Check my heart rate out now. I think you'll see an instant rise, followed by a pretty quick fall. I think not a fall back to where it was, but I think it'll go up like 175, 170, whatever, and pretty quickly get back to the 160s, and not too long back to the 150s. Big rise in heart rate. The rest of this ride, my heart rate will just rise slowly, more and more and more, because I'm not likely to slow down enough to recover. We'll see. Woo! YZ250 suspension is just so incredible on high-speed whoop-de-doos. It's just incredible. The amazing thing is the technology is 18 years old, right? That SSF suspension came out in 2006 to the public on the YZ. These conditions, folks, if you can get out, oh my gosh, When it rains, think Wambaw. When it rains, think Wambaw. When it rains, think Wambaw. Wambaw is the ultimate fun palace after a rain. The soil conditions are just so good. If you don't mind riding sand, or if you want to get good at riding sand, just get out here. Concentrate on days after it rains, and then work your way to drier days as your skill level comes up. There's always some drier sections after a rain, right? We're going to come up on a drier section coming up than what I've been in, even though it just rained last night, like right here. Of course, this is still pretty darn good, but it's just so good after a rain. Just so much feedback that you get right from the bike to your body. All right, look at this. A good bit sloggier here, right? It's drier, but it's still got some moisture in it, so it's so easier than on a dry day. Much easier than a dry day. On a dry day, you can really fishtail and flop all over the place if you don't keep your speed up in that sand. This was getting real wet, so make sure you go around it. It's getting to the point now where it's almost dry enough to open back up. So go around it for now. Just one little section. Hear me hit fifth? No, because I barely slid into it. There's fifth, down to fourth. Keep the RPMs up in the turn. Still lug it. Bounce off the outside of the turn. Use it as a berm. Bumpy. Real dragon. We're joining that other trail now that branched off, I think. Yeah. So if you would have taken that 6-mile trail back, you would join it right here. The two trails use the part right. There's not 3 trails back. There's just cutoffs that take you to the return half of the loop early. This section, for some reason, used to really bother me. I guess because it's so sandy, but I don't know. This section just really would slow me down. I was paranoid. Right there. That is really deep sand when it's dry. You're not used to sand. Remember, I moved here from the Rocky Mountains of Northern California, the rock-filled mountains. You can't find a rock here out to save your life. You can try to find a rock in Wambaw, good luck. But, so sand was totally new to me. Back when I started riding again in 2013, in my 50s. I grew up on a YZ250 in the mountains of Northern California, and then stopped. I rode street for 12 years, and then I worked, and thank goodness, a local car dealer took a KX250 in for a trade-in, a 2011, and I saw it in the newspaper or on Facebook in 2013. They were literally right at the end of my road where my warehouse is. I went to visit. I hopped on that thing. I popped a couple of out-of-control wheelies because they had a lot more horsepower than my 1975 YZ or 76, whatever it was. As soon as I pulled in, I said, "Well, you sold the motorcycle." I think I paid $3,000. It had about 55 hours on it. It's been trouble-free, and I ride it about 1 out of every 10 times. I do enjoy it when I do ride it. I enjoy it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I may race it in the Southern Roots Racing Tour this year. I was going to do it last year, but I got busy at the end of the year working out of town. So there's no way I can do it. But, you know, try again. I raced my YZ last year, my first ever race in my life at age 62. No, I guess I was 61 at the time. It was a lot of fun. And I think I want to try the 4-stroke. It's a little bit less energy intensive because it's got less torque. And you just, you know, motorcycle Mike behind the throttle. I love the feeling of that. I love the brow. Love the 2-stroke hit. So, even racing, I found it hard to take it easy. Even on a 2-hour hare scramble where I knew I had to reserve some energy. My solution this year is just to try to get a whole lot of rides in at Wambaw that are 2 hours or longer. At least so that my body is used to the duration, if not the effort. I think racing will be more effort, but duration is also a psychological barrier. Your body knows it's got an hour to go. You know, this is how guys do long distance running. You work your way up, you might run 12, 14 miles, and then you run 20 miles. Then you go back down 10, 12, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, another 20 miler. I want my body to understand what 2 hours non-stop feels like. Just so it's not anticipated quitting. And also I don't try too hard, you know, after an hour and 10 minutes or something. I keep a little in the tank. I think we got about 4 miles to go. I feel pretty good actually. But if you watch the video, I went from a little faster pace the first half to kind of a moderate pace this last half. You know, some periods have given us some gas, but mostly fairly moderate compared to the first half. Mainly for me, it just prevents me from making mistakes. If you're physically tired, muscles that might normally get you out of a jam might be just a little bit too slow and make that difference between having a close call and having a crash. So I want to keep a little bit in the tank. Fit so that you got a little bit in the tank going twice as fast as 2 months ago, or 10% faster. Doesn't have to be twice as fast. 10% is enough. Right, here's another section. I think that's that first loop that comes back after the first 3 miles. I think it is. Like an 8-mile loop. So an 8-mile loop, a 12-mile loop, and a full loop of about 19. I haven't ridden the short loop in a long time. I did it one time when I was getting ready for that Southern Route race. I did a short north loop after full north and south to get my time up to 2 hours. And that came out almost perfectly to 2 hours at the pace I was running, which was probably an 80% pace for me, which I think is a good safe pace to ride. I'm not racing anybody for a national championship or sponsors. I'm just riding for fun. Purely for fun. Section here, and I just got to take it a little easy with this paddle tire. Coming around this big right-hand turn up here, it slides. I'm still not comfortable with it. It slides out on me. Second most favorite section right here. This section is fun year-round. Whereas that big sandy section gets really dry and nasty in summer. This has a lot of shade, a lot of real dirt, along with sand, but a lot of good, rich soil. And so it stays pretty good all year round with good traction. You're in the shade. It's nice and windy. A lot of fun. Not very long. Wouldn't mind having about 4 miles of that. If you want 4 miles of that, go to Entering. You can have like 19 miles of that. A lot less work to do. miles to go now, something like that. A lot of roots in here. Be careful of those roots. If you got your high-speed compression set a little high, you might get some pretty hard hits. I've softened mine up a bit. Alright, that's not deep. That's wet but not deep. Nothing else that'll clean your tires. Shallow too. This is where I rode. I can't speak for dead center. I don't hit most puddles dead center. Having gone over the bars a couple too many times here. Then we'll be past them all. And they've done a lot of work, especially Chris and Stephanie and Chris and Mike, Chris and Phil, to make culverts and other methods of getting the water off the track, off the trail. They've done a great job. Off to have some really big whoops. This man's pretty deep. Won't slow down too much, just slow down for just long enough to cross the power line. Nice run. Purr, baby, purr. Woo. Great ride, y'all. Great ride. Oh, feels so good. Amazing ride. I'm glad I filmed it. I wasn't going to film it, but after I ran into Chad and Will, I would have felt pretty bad for not filming it. So let's get this video up for y'all. Happy New Year. Everybody stay safe. I hope you get out and ride. I hope to see you on the trails. I'm going to try to ride Henry. I think on the 2nd. I'm going hunting on the 1st. It's the last season, the deer season, and I am out of my freezer's empty, so I skipped last year, but it's time. All right, everybody, if you like my videos, thumbs up, like and subscribe. We'll get to the next one. If you do subscribe, hit the little bell in the upper, I think it's the upper right corner, and that way when I do post a video, you'll get a little notification. Stay safe, everybody. Great 2024, and have a fantastic 2025. Here we go.